by my good friend, Mr. Jason Porter with Legacy Realty. And we are going to be joined by one of the greatest of all time at Liberty basketball history, Darius McGee. Before we bring him in, Jason, I wanted to let folks know that you used to work for Liberty for about 6 years, I think you said, um, and you jumped into the real estate business. One thing I've been noticing with the real estate market is the rates seem to be climbing up a little bit. They were just really crazy low here over the past 6 months or so. Are rates going up? What do you anticipate with those? And is it still a good time to kind of mess around in the real estate?
Yeah, hey everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Sorry for the casual Wednesday night approach here today, but yeah, rates are creeping a little bit. Obviously, I've got a number of fantastic local mortgage lenders with whom I work, and that's primarily their lane, of course. But yeah, we are seeing a little bit of an increase in the uptick in rates. I think one of the things that I see some first-time home buyers, or at least some folks that are a little bit more inexperienced in the market, try to do is they really try to time the market and time rates, and that's pretty difficult to do, as you can imagine. And one other interesting little caveat on that, it seems like this time of year would be stereotypically when you would seem to see the market slow down, and sometimes it does that. But I would also say too that you're actually in less competition. So whether you're in the situation of needing to sell right now, there's less houses for you to be in competition against, and then obviously the coin flip to that on the buying side. It's less competitive right now too. So seeing a lot of business still right now. Taking tomorrow off, but I'll be back at it on Friday, going strong with everybody.
Yeah, man. You've definitely hit the ground running. We talked about it a little bit last time, but you got out of the athletics game and got into real estate. And I don't know if you're going to know what to do with the normal market. This is kind of wild, but good for you, man. Let's bring in Darius and catch up with him and see how his week's going and kind of catch up on some men's hoops. All right, we have Darius. How's it going, man?
Good.
Are you back from Florida?
Yeah, I am. We had actually two practices today, so we're still rolling.
Two practices. Oh man, I don't know if 2 a days mid-season's a good thing, but that's I guess that's how McKay rolls sometimes. So the question I have for you is about this Florida trip. It started off with two games that maybe didn't get the outcome we wanted. Ended with a nice game yesterday. You particularly had a good game. What is it like mentally as a player, just you individually? How do you stay not really motivated, but how do you stay up and confident and just ready to perform like you did last night in the game against Bethune Cookman? I mean, it would have been really easy to get down on yourself maybe, but how do you individually kind of flush and just come each day with that same confidence? Really, I know you want to win all the games, but it was the confidence that I saw last night. It didn't look like you were hesitant at all. So what is it like for you? Is it some routine you go through? Is it something that how you were raised? Is it something that coaches help you with? Really help us understand how you bring that same level of confidence into a game after, maybe some disappointing outcomes.
I think we all, like my whole team, we all had a similar thought of we didn't play how we normally played and didn't play to our own expectations. So it was just a matter of leaning on one another, like just not letting those two losses bring us down and kind of divide us, but to gravitate towards one another and really find that true, like that joy that we've always had for the game. Like I told everyone, we've been playing basketball our whole lives. Like don't let two losses just take that joy away from you. So guys were playing cards in the hotel, playing the game, just staying competitive, but of course doing it something non-physical. But it just made us come together, and we was laughing, joking, and it just brought the energy back up. So going into that third game down there in Daytona, we had just a different perspective, different lens, and the coaches definitely were harping on that and harping on still trusting our system. Like two losses isn't supposed to just make us shy away what we do every day. So.
Yeah, Darius, I'm going to drill down on that question just a little bit too. I was a shooter way back in the day, but we're not going to go there. But what do you do? What's been your mindset? You often hear athletes talk about how to get rid of a bad game mentally when you're not shooting as well, and especially when shooting is a big part of your game. Obviously, you're crazy quick to the hoop and everything like that too. But when you have a bad shooting night or an off shooting night, how do you kind of bounce back? What do you sort of do to sort of take those pieces from what you need from film as you guys are watching that and and understanding, maybe here or there you could have done something a little bit better. But how important is it to have a short-term memory when you've got a bad shooting night and ready to
It's
get going
huge.
the next game?
It's huge. My teammates, they're always, instilling confidence within me, especially in moments like that, just to keep shooting the ball. And I think it's also important to trust the work that you put in. And then, like, you work out all the time. Like, there's always going to be ups and downs shooting the ball, but just know that you consistently make those deposits and trust that at the end of the day, like, there's always going to be an other side to it. And also, you have to, like, just watch the quality of shots you have, like your mechanics, of course, but don't get too buried within them. But just something that you definitely observe. Like, you don't want to be taking tough shots while you're in a slump. Like, you just want to keep flowing within the offense, getting great shots, and making sure you're getting shots that you work out on day in, day out.
Yeah, that kind of goes right into what I wanted to ask. And Darius, when I saw you at the tailgate earlier this year, I kind of joked with you about having the Curry green light, and I talked with Coach McKay about that, and I asked him if you had the Curry green light, and he assured us that you did, and you were quick to tell me, hey, I don't shoot any shot in a game that I haven't repped 100 times, basically, and um, so I guess you were saying that in the middle of a slump, you kind of go those more high percentage shots, not the more tough ones. But when you're really feeling it, and you told me you rep those fadeaways and like the coming off a ball screen, step back, all that stuff. Talk about, when you're getting shots up, how you're not just shooting, wide open set shots, that you really do rep some of those. Last year we saw the buzzer beaters kind of falling out of bounds. Did you practice that one at all? And kind of uh, how much do you practice those tough shots?
For me, I honestly think like you definitely need those standstill shots just to get going, catch your rhythm. Like, you always want to start out with those, but you also definitely want to equip yourself with game shots. So just thinking of different game scenarios, breaking it down with the coaches and just how different teams play us. You definitely want to have like the ability to execute against those different coverages. So for me, it's whatever I'm thinking in the moment. Like, I'll tell whoever's working me out, like, hey, I want to get these type of shots as well on top of the workout that I'm already gonna do. Just like, you always want to be prepared. You don't want to get caught in the middle of action. I say war. I think of games as war. Like, you don't want to go to war without your arsenal. So you want to be prepared for it all.
Darius, how important is the 3-point game to the overall team this year? I know in years past there's been some, games where it kind of felt like you lived and died by the three a little bit. Obviously, it's still an important part of the overall offense, but how much are you guys keying in on that this year as opposed to years past?
To be honest, I think it's about the same. It's just different personnel. Like, different guys bring different things to the table, but coach is big on just creating the best possible shot within the offense. So I think my first 2 years, like, we had Scotty and Mayo in the post, and they were tremendous scorers 1-on-1, and like, we could shoot the ball really well. So it was easy for us to just run plays and run actions and get them set up on the block and let them go to work and just make things happen. And now we're like, we have different actions. Blake is down there on the block, but everybody else is pretty much a guard or a wing. So we just use it to our advantage. Keep the ball moving. Keep working for one another. And guys on this team can shoot the ball really well. So I wouldn't say we die by it, but we definitely, like, if a guy gets an open shot, you see them working every single day. You see them in practice shooting the ball really well. So when it comes to game time, if they're open, swing it to them. We all have confidence in one another. Like I said, I think after the game in Daytona against BCU, Keegan McDowell to me is the best shooter on the team. Like, I love just sitting and watching him shoot the ball. So in the games, it's no surprise for us to see him make 6 or 7 threes in a row. The ball doesn't touch the rim. Like, we've all sit there and watch each other do that.
All right. So I've asked you this question already before, about a month ago, but I'm first time I met you, you were in high school at Blue Ridge School with Kyle Getter. You're on the football field at doing maybe an official visit with Blake Preston. And Coach Getter said something to me. He said, hey, this guy right here is a future first team all conference or conference player of the year, actually. He said that. And I thought he was talking about Blake, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty good, high praise." And he goes, "No, Darius, right there. He is a future and he said it again, future conference player of the year." And I ask you that question when you got to Liberty and you saw the competition, you saw all the guys you're going to be playing against. was that a goal of yours, or did it kind of catch you not by surprise, but I know you had to put the work in and all that, but is that something you thought when you stepped on campus, like, hey, I'm going to be conference player of the year one year, or did it kind of just kind of come to you? And it was so surprising to me that, that basically you came in and you did it. You did exactly what Coach Getter said, and it was kind of wild to watch that come to fruition. But I want to know how that worked in your mind. Was that one of your goals? Is that something you thought, when you were playing high school basketball? Do you think, yeah, I'm going to sign a D1 scholarship and I'm going to be conference player of the year in a D1 conference?
If I'm being honest, it definitely was not. I was not concerned about conference player of the year or any of those accolades or awards, honestly. And shout out to Coach Getter. That's always my boy. He always checks in from time to time, and I do as well. Uh, Great dude. We built a relationship from the very first moment that we spoke. Honestly, coming in, like my whole mindset was to do whatever I could and to make sure my role on the team, like I was going to do it to the best of my ability. So my upperclassmen can go out the way that they should. Like you always want your upperclassmen to go out on top. And I think that mindset kind of came from me in the high school I went to at Blue Ridge. Like you got Amir Sims, Josh Cologne. Like we had unbelievable upperclassmen as my junior year who were seniors and going out. So even from back then, it was just a mindset of how can I help everybody else so we all get the goal that we're supposed to and the upperclassmen go out the correct way. So when I got here my freshman year, it was the same type of mindset. Lavelle was like, he just guided me my whole freshman year. So like I was definitely going to do everything that I could. Keenan Gums took me underneath his wings. Like Zach Farquhar, who's still around, like they all just kept pouring into me. So I was making sure I was doing my job and giving them my all and not trying to let them down. And honestly, last year, it really never dawned on me. I wasn't concerned. I don't think I've ever been concerned about winning awards and stuff, but it was definitely cool to like achieve it because I've always been an underdog, even when I was young. It just comes with being small, so it was definitely a good feeling.
You teed this one up perfect, Darius, because I was going to ask the exact same thing, or at least a little bit of a final follow up. I'm a big leadership guy. I love studying leadership and what that looks like. You just named some incredible guys who were your predecessors, who you had a chance to learn from, and you now being a big bad senior. Describe your leadership style. How do you like to lead?
I'm definitely one who leads by example. Like, as you can tell, I'm not the most vocal guy. Like, I'm not going to be yelling, talking very loud. Like, I'm definitely going to approach you in a respectable way, communicate it in such a way that is definitely effective and you get the message or get what I'm trying to communicate to you. But when it comes to, like, especially a game of basketball, like, I'd rather just get out there and show you how it's supposed to be done and give you pointers as we're going through this and kind of help you because everybody has their own gift. So you're going to do certain things and you're gift.
Hey, Darius, you might have covered up your microphone. There you go. You're back.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Oh, but I was saying, like, I can't expect everybody to use their gifts the same way I use my gifts. So just kind of go out there and really lead by example, but also give pointers and give like advice in ways that it can be useful so guys can kind of tweak it in their own way and go out there and get it done.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's working. You're a ton of fun to watch. By the way, I think that I have season tickets right next to some of your family there in the
Oh
Liberty
gosh, I
Arena.
think I know
So
it's my uncle.
yeah, yeah. So he was super hype about the game against Regent, and looking forward to seeing him again on Saturday. Darius, we will be catching up with you every other week for the rest of the season. It's going to be a pleasure. It's always fun to watch you play, man. And I think one of the things I want to make sure we get out here is the compliments that you're getting and the comparisons with Malik. I cannot believe that some of the two of the most how did Coach McKay say it? Successful, famous per se athletes on Liberty's campus are two of the most humble guys. And look, we all appreciate that, man. We really do as fans. there's nothing more. I would rather, we all would rather cheer on somebody like that than somebody who's putting in 40 a game and really unlikable. So, man, we all noticed that and we all love that about you. So I just wanted to make sure you heard that from a fan. That's what we all kind of talk about and about your game. So keep it up, man. We're looking forward to it on Saturday night, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Appreciate you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and enjoy your time with your family tomorrow.
Yeah, happy
Thanks,
Thanksgiving.
Darius. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, guys, we will catch you next time.
See you guys.